There's a quote by Eckhart Tolle. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. I've noticed when I'm present around horses, they respond much better. They're far more interested in what I'm doing than if I walk up to a horse but my mind is thinking of other things and all the other things I have to do after I see the horse. So in today's practice, I invite you to stay present. If your mind wanders to other things you need to get to after the video, notice that. Let those thoughts go and come back to what we're doing right here, right now. Come to the front of your mat. Have your feet about hip distance apart. So by hip distance apart, I mean if your hips are here, you drew a straight line from your hips straight down. That would reach about the middle toe on each foot, approximately. So coming to the front of your mat, step your right foot back as far as you can. Place your hands on your hips and bend that left knee. Bring the right hip forward. Now check in with your left foot and left knee. Make sure they're pointed in the same direction. Strong core here. Relax your shoulders. Shoulders just softly back. The right heel can stay down with the toes out or right heel lifted. And now deepen the lunge. Can you let your hips lower a little more? Inhaling, reach your arms up. Breathe here. For more engagement, squeeze your feet together. Maybe deepen the lunge a little more. Exhale, lower your hands. Reach your hands behind your back. Open your chest wide, draw your shoulder blades together. Exhaling, bow forward to the inside of the left knee. Let your hands come up. Try not to lean on that left thigh. As you exhale, slowly come on back up. Inhale, arms up. Check in with your hips. Make sure they're parallel to the front of the mat. Exhale, lower your hands. Now step your right foot forward just a couple of inches, enough to lower that heel to the mat, toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Hands on hips, straighten the left leg. Bring that right hip forward again. Have your hips and shoulders parallel to the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale here. Strong core, neutral spine. As you exhale, send your hips back. Fold forward. You're just hinging at the hips. If your back starts to round or your front knee starts to bend, come up again till everything's straight. For some, you might just go a couple of inches. Some people can go further. Just pause here. Think left hip back. In Parsvattanasana. If it's available to you, you can place your hands on the mat, or you can place your hands on blocks if you're using blocks. Or just keep your hands on your hips. One more breath. Slowly come on up. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, come halfway up. Nice strong core, relaxed, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. With your feet hip distance apart again, now step your left foot back, a fairly big step back. Hands on hips, bend the right knee and bring the left hip forward. Hips and shoulders parallel to the front of the mat. Draw your belly in, strong core. Be mindful that your right knee and foot are pointed in the same direction. And ideally you want your right knee above your ankle, not in front. Inhale, arms up. Breathe here. Maybe deepen the lunge. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower your hands, interlace your fingers behind your back. Stretch your knuckles back, open your chest wide. Continue to lunge. Exhale, bow forward to the inside of the right knee, letting your hands come up. Exhale, slowly rise. Release your hands. Hands on hips, just bring the left hip forward enough that you can have that left heel down with the toes out and straighten the right leg. Bring that left hip forward so your hips and shoulders parallel to the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale here. Exhaling, hinge just at the hip flexors. Think shoulders back and fold. Straight spine. Check in with your hips, make sure they're level with each other. Keep that right leg straight. Maybe on this side you stay here. Maybe you reach the mat, or you can place your hands on blocks, or simply keep your hands on your hips. It's not about how far you go, it's about going as far as you can and then hanging out there. As you exhale, come on back up and step the left foot forward. Take a deep inhale, arms up. Long, slow exhale to fold. Inhaling, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Place your hands on your hips and have your feet about hip distance apart. You can bring them closer if you're comfortable, but I like to do this feet hip distance apart. And now engage your core, relax your shoulders, bend your knees. Your knees may go forward, but now sit back so your hips are back. And look down, make sure your knees and feet are pointed in the same direction. Strong core, nice straight spine. Try to sit up as straight as you can. Maybe deepen the squat in Utkatasana. Option to bring palms together at your heart center. Breathe here. Maybe sit more deeply. Option to bring arms forward, but draw your shoulders back if you do. A couple of breaths here. Maybe sitting more deeply. For more engagement, squeeze your ankles and knees towards each other. And now push your feet and knees away from each other. One more breath. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Coming to the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Step your right foot back as far as you can. Inhale, arms up. Bend the left knee, and as you exhale, lower your hands to the mat or to blocks. Step your right foot back even further. And now soften. Keep that right knee lifted, but let the hips sink towards the mat. Let them softly lower. And now lower the right knee to the mat and gently send the hips forward towards the front of the mat. Might get a little stretch on that right hip flexor. Try to just relax into this pose. Breathe. Staying present. If your mind wanders, just come back to how this feels. And now lift the right knee up and step that foot forward as you exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms together. Lower your hands. Now step your left foot back as far as you can. Bend the right knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat and step the left foot back even further, placing your hands on blocks or right on the mat. Let the hips softly sink towards the mat, keeping that left knee lifted for a couple of breaths. And now lower the left knee to the mat and send the hips forward. Just let that hip flexor soften and stretch. Passively open when it's ready. And now lift the left knee up and step the left foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. Turn and face the side of the mat. Take your feet a little wider than your hips and turn your toes out. Keep your shoulders directly above your hips, so nice straight spine, hands on hips, bend your knees. Now adjust your feet in or out and make sure your feet are pointed in the same direction as your heels. Feet are pointed in the same direction as your knees. Strong core. Bring your arms up in L shape. Relax your elbows and shoulders. Maybe sink more deeply. In goddess pose, Utthata Konasana. If you'd like this to be a balancing pose, try lifting your heels up or lowering your heels. Breathe. On your next exhale, lower your arms and straighten your legs. Pivot on your toes and send your heels out. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. As you exhale, fold forward, letting your hands dangle. Maybe they reach the mat, or if you're using blocks, you can place them on a block. Bend the left knee. Keep that right foot flat on the mat, and walk your hands to your left foot. Press that right foot into the mat. You might get a nice little stretch on the adductor, that inner thigh. Walk your hands back to center. Bend your right knee. As you walk your hands to your right foot, press your left foot flat into the mat. Make sure it stays flat, pressing that baby toe side into the mat. Breathe here. Walk your hands back to center. Place your hands on your hips. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, come on up to standing. Take a deep inhale here. Keep your hands on your hips, shoulders back. Exhale, strong core as you fold forward halfway. Breathe. Exhale, come on back up. Option to reach your arms out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, fold halfway, or keep your hands on your hips. Exhale, back up. Third option is arms up over your head. Exhale, fold halfway. Exhale, back up. Arms in any position that's right for you today. Just stay present. A couple more times. Exhale, move to the other position. Exhale back. Lower your arms and walk your feet together. With your feet hip distance apart, inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Knees are soft. Spine is nice and straight as you exhale, fold. Take a couple of breaths here. As you inhale, reach the hips up as high as you can. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhaling, come halfway up. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste.